All right, here we go. Hi, and welcome to our next Ask the Expert interview series. Today we have Brandon Evans with us today. He is the North American Safety Manager, East Division with Alltech. And because of his experience working in workplace safety, we wanted to have him on because March is Workplace Eye Safety Month, but we wanted to talk to him overall about workplace safety and some of the precautions that they use specifically for eye safety, but others as well. So thank you for joining us today, Brandon. I will let you just jump in and give us a little more information about what you do at Alltech.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me. So currently at Alltech, like you mentioned, I am North American Safety Manager for the East Division. In our safety department, we have it broke down between East and West because we have so many locations in North America. North America, we have, and that's US and Canada is what we define as North America. We have around 68 production locations, and that's, like I said, divided between US and Canada. So we've got probably, I think we got around 18, 19 production facilities in Canada alone. We're not in every province, but we're almost in every single province in Canada. So, no, but for me personally, I oversee 30 locations on the East. And that, basically from what I oversee is basically from Iowa over to the all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. I've got 30 locations from that area. So.
All right. So I'm assuming that COVID has kind of impacted your job. I think before you did a lot of traveling and inspecting just to make sure safety precautions were taking place. So how is that happening kind of post-COVID or during COVID? Just a lot of online check-ins or?
Yeah, like I said, we're utilizing Zoom calls, conference calls, or whatever it may be. We're utilizing Microsoft Teams as our main source. We do a lot of, we have, with every plant manager across the business, we have monthly safety calls, updates, check-ins, things like that. Obviously, if there's an accident or injury that happens anywhere in North America, we have a safety call about that. We're always in communications with our plant managers, our directors of operations, GMs, VPs, whatever it may be. But as I said, we've got all kinds of monthly calls set up that we do to keep the constant communication up, especially during when COVID first hit, and then right in the middle of the pandemic, to make sure that we're in communication. Just because we've got so many locations that we have to, stay on top of and make sure that we're doing all of our safety related items.
So as I mentioned earlier, March is Eye Safety Month, specifically in the workplace. And I was doing some research, and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health reported that about 2,000 people get eye injuries at work each day. In 90% of those cases, it's likely that the severity could have been drastically reduced had protective eyewear been worn. So in the operations that you oversee, can you give us kind of some examples of the safety policies that are in place, and specifically for eyes, if eyeglasses are required to be worn or anything like that?
So across the board in North America, we as a company have a policy that we have PPE requirements that we have, and this is for every facility, and it's even defined in every facility too, certain areas in these facilities of where what PPE, proper PPE has to be worn if you're in these facilities, in these certain areas, etc. But we have a policy, like I said, it's for all North America, that we require, hard hats or bump caps in our feed mills, and then safety glasses and steel toe boots across the board, no matter what. We do have a few locations around in North America where we have to require respiratory protection. So half face respirators, full face respirators, things like that. But across the board, across anywhere, if you step foot on any production floor, warehouse floor, outside of the safety walkways, you have to have a minimum of steel toe boots and safety glasses. Now, depending on what facility you're in, that would also require a hard hat or a bump cap.
Okay. All right. This is just your personal opinion. So as a safety manager, you have experience working with the safety side and, seeing the injury portion of it. How do you think that the number of workplace injuries can be reduced? I mean, is it just that people are not following these guidelines, or do people not have these guidelines in other places maybe?
It can be a little bit of both, my opinion. Safety starts, in my opinion, safety starts with everybody. It's everybody's responsibility. Now, it also, you can put all the policies and procedures in place if you want. You can put a million of them in place. But if there's not any accountability, but it also starts with everybody. It starts from the lowest person in the company to all the way to the top. You've got to have support from the top, because I think, me as a manager, I can't hold people accountable to our policies and procedures if I'm not getting the support I need from the top. But also on the production floor level, it should be everybody's responsibility. All the production coworkers or whatever it may be, even myself and my department, we all hold each other accountable to make sure that, because you get busy, you get in a rush, things get hectic, and there's sometimes you may have your safety glasses that's on top of your head and you not even realize it. So it's always good to have that accountability from your coworkers and just to remind everybody, like, all right, you have your safety glasses, make sure you put them on. Hey, or you forgot your safety glasses are on top of your head, put them on, whatever it may be. But you have to have also in regards to that as well, it starts at the top too. Executive management, the company or the organization's top leaders have to also, be on board and promote a safe workplace environment, and help back up those who are actually trying to enforce the policies and procedures as well.
Yeah. Do you have any personal tips to just kind of help reduce risk of injury?
I'm always, and I teach my department this as well, and I kind of, harp on this all the time. I'm the person that's, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Type of mentality, especially in the workplace and especially manufacturing, as well. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So I'm always, don't take any chances. We have these policies and procedures in effect for a reason, because I've seen some crazy things that you would never think that somebody would get injured or hurt or whatever it may be. So you don't want to take any shortcuts. You don't want to, and it's always that excuse of, well, it hasn't happened in 30 years, so it ain't going to happen now. But those are the times where something serious or a really bad accident or injury could happen. Especially if it's just like, well, it's only going to take me 2 minutes to do this job or this activity, whatever I'm doing. So I don't need to put on my PPE just for a couple of minutes. Well, those are the times that those major accidents, injuries will happen. So it's just being diligent and making sure that, we're, like I said, everybody's holding everybody accountable. Like I said, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. That's the mentality that the message I try to convey to our employees, and especially my employees in my department as well.
So I was looking at the top list of kind of dangerous work environments, and manufacturing, maintenance, and then different aspects of farming were all on that list. So I know that you work the majority with manufacturing, but Alltech is very involved in agriculture and farming as well. And kind of the difference that I see, I grew up on a farm, and there are no safety managers on your typical Kentucky farm. There's the farmer, the farm staff, and everybody kind of wears the hat. And it's kind of what you said, everybody just has to take responsibility for protecting yourself and others. If you see somebody doing something that is dangerous, say, hey, you need to put those glasses on, or put the hard hat on, or stop doing something stupid. But as somebody who kind of creates these policies and procedures, do you have any tips that maybe people can use on farms to kind of just remind their workers that there are potentially dangerous situations and to be careful, and just any kind of signage, that kind of?
Yeah, signage goes a long way as well, and even for the manufacturing setting, we have signage everywhere to kind of make sure that it's in the forefront of everybody's mind. It's not out of sight, out of mind type of things like that. So signage is great. As far as as just your normal everyday farmer, I grew up as a kid working on a farm. We had I'd say probably a mid-sized operation that I grew up and helped work on. But but again, growing up as a kid and growing up with that type of farm mentality, you don't think about wearing PPE. You don't think about wearing your safety glasses or a hard hat or even steel toe boots or things of that nature when you're working out in the farm, the farm setting. Again, I would go back to now. My advice to that is that, it's like I said, I go back to this again. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Always protect yourself. Just because you want to go home safe to your loved ones, to your family, to your wife, kids, husband, whatever it may be. You don't want to take any chances, don't want to risk anything, because I've been around all the farm equipment that there is to be around, and it's not it could get very serious very quick. So, if you, even for myself at home, even if I'm at home just mowing my yard or, running the weed eater or anything like that, I've got eye protection. Because there's been how many times have you out in the yard mowing the yard and there might be a rock you don't see and it flies up and hits you in the face. So if you're wearing eye protection, that could save, that could protect you. But in that general farm set, especially if you're a bigger farm where you employ several farm hands, some workers, that's going to help you out, like we did when I was growing up. You have the right as the owner of that farm. It is your responsibility to protect your employees as well. So even as us from a manufacturing standpoint, it is, of course, we're governed by OSHA. So it is the federal law that we have the right to protect. We have the responsibility and right that we have to protect our employees, and we have to show that that we are making every effort that we can to protect our employees. But given the small time farmer, or no matter how big or small you got, you should always take pride in that responsibility of protecting your employees and also protecting yourself. It's not hard to throw on a pair of safety glasses, and I get it. I get the farm boy mentality. I get it. I was there, lived it. You think you're invincible and nothing's gonna stop you, but there's nothing wrong in taking some extra precaution, whether it's steel toe boots, safety glasses, hard hat, gloves, whatever it may be.
Does Alltech happen to offer any training to farmers, customers, public in general, just that are working with their products?
Yes, we offer training. We do monthly. We here at for our employees all across the board, all across North America. We have we actually have a training matrix that we send out for every year. So we have a topic for each month. So we'll do basically 12 safety trainings a month, and that's for every business, every entity that we have for all of our employees that we work with. We do have in Nicholasville we do have a farm as well that we operate. So though we work hand in hand with our farm crew as well. They go through the same monthly trainings. We make sure that everybody is up to date on those trainings, and obviously if it's any new procedures, new processes, everybody gets trained in that as well. So we do make sure we do make sure that and go the extra length to make to ensure that we as a company and as a safety department that our employees are getting the proper training that they need.
All right. This last question I'm just asking because it's specifically with eyes. We've mentioned wearing safety glasses over and over, and that kind of being the main thing you can do to protect your eyes. Are there any specific brands or types or just anything that you can pick up from a hardware store? Be fine.
You want to make sure that they're ANSI rated to any kind of degree. You don't want to just pick up any pair that's not. I mean, because when they're ANSI rated, that means that they've been tested over and over again for any kind of, to make sure that any kind of debris or any kind of, like for an example, going back to the farm thing, if any rocks or debris or anything can penetrate those safety glasses. So that means if they're ANSI rated, they have been tested to that degree over and over again. They've been put through the test, a rigorous quality checks, things like that. So you want to make sure that they're ANSI rated 100%. Now there's different levels of ANSI rated, but like I said, don't want to just pick up any kind of just flimsy old pair. Just make sure that if you go to the hardware store or even online to make sure that they're ANSI rated, because that guarantees you that they have been checked and certified by even NIOSH, the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, and ANSI as well, that to make sure that they are the highest quality and that they will protect you to whatever level degree it may be, but you will get the highest protection.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on here with us today. We greatly appreciate it and hope that everyone has took away something from this today. And just always remember to be safe in any situation, whether you're at home, at work, on the farm, in town, whatever. If you're doing anything that there's even the slightest chance something could come flying at your face, you want to have it protected. And just try to be as safe.
One last thing I will say too, it's just for everybody out there, just stop and think. Honestly, like I said, I go back to this. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. But just stop and think about it. Now, I know we all get busy, we get in a hurry, we try to get things done, but it doesn't take 3 seconds to put on a pair of safety glasses or the proper boots or whatever it may be, a hard hat. So just slow down, stop and think, and just try to protect yourself the best you can.
Yeah, and that of the others around you. I'll just share this one story and then we'll wrap it up. But we had a young girl a couple years ago need a cornea transplant because she was just in the yard when her dad was mowing and a rock flew up and she was just riding her bike and just happened to be close by and the rock hit her right in the eye and she had to have a cornea transplant at like age 6 or 8.
Yep.
So just watch out for people that are around you as well. and in those types of situations. So
Yep.
again, Brandon, thank you for being on here with us today. We will talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Like again, thank you very much for having me. It's an honor, and thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.